Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in today. I hope that wherever you are in the most comfortable place and position there is. And once again, my screen is flickering. And I say I want you to be in a comforting position because we all need to be comfort. But before we get into comfort, let's get into my positive note. So whatever you do in life, and this is a lesson I learned also from yesterday and when I was editing my video to put up for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, is to not be hard on yourself. It is to expect a level of endurance in terms of being persistent and knowing your potential, but don't be hard on yourself in the process. Allow yourself to grow in the process and also allow yourself room for error, because again, like as I mentioned in the video, things don't always go as planned. You have to be accepting of that. I have to be accepting of that. So not being hard on yourself allows you to just allow room for error. Just allow room for mistakes. It allows you to just be yourself, be humble. Just know you're human. And you're not going to be perfect at everything that you do. You can strive towards perfection, but perfectionism is just an added stress. It's just that, just think of it like a clothing or a laundry clothing line, and you have clothing pin, and like perfectionism is just that whole line, that whole clothing line, and you're hanging clothing line, you're hanging different things with your clothing pins to add to your perfectionism. I like to do things well, and that's just what I will say about myself. I like to do things well. I want to feel like I put my best effort. Like they say, you put your best foot forward, and I believe in trying to do the best that I can, and just strive to that is perfect without going overly into perfectionism, because again, perfectionism just adds to additional stress. Your clothing line would be pulled and stretched thin, and you're not going to allow room to take clothing pins off, put some more different things on your clothing pins back on the line. It's going to be just where you just see, like, I almost see perfectionism like black and white. It's either this or either or. So it's very important to just allow yourself, just don't be hard on yourself. Allow yourself to go in the process. Because I kind of look back on my footage and I'm like, wow, even though that part one was a little bit disappointing, it wasn't all that bad. And I do think that black shadow did really well, and I showed pictures of that in the pictures of that video. So just to show to you that that black shadow noir does perform well without any support of the black liner that I use. I just use that just to keep the water from moving my shadow. That's the only reason why I use the black liner underneath noir. But other than that, it performed really well on its own. So I just want to add to that, because I kind of felt like I was starting to stress a bit, and showing stress is normal because we all get stressed. Anyone who films videos, there's stress to filming and just knowing you're articulating your words the right way, and you're just, presenting yourself in a way that you feel most comfortable. So with that, I would conclude my positive note, because I just want to encourage everyone to just be yourself. Like, if you're someone who film videos, just be yourself, relax. Just know you're in your happy place. It is your comfortable position. And just know that everything you do, you're putting your best foot out. You're putting your best foot forward. So if you believe that you're putting your best foot forward, it will show and your work will present itself. So with that, let me go ahead and talk about the reason for this video. So basically, as you know, I have been talking about the 10 days of glam that Macys has currently until June 20th. So tomorrow, Monday, June 17th, because today is June 16th, June 17th, Tarte Pro Remix is going to be on sale for $24.50. Now, Tarte is regular price $49. Before we get into talking about Tarte, if you want to know what's on my face, I'm keeping it real simple today. I am using the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer in Tan. And this is what the box looks like. And it's the color Tan that zooms. And I have it, and I need to be using it because I like to wear tinted moisturizer. I prefer tinted moisturizer and BB creams probably over foundations. I'm not opposed to foundation. If I wear foundation, again, it's light to medium coverage. I would do full coverage if I just want to cover everything that's on my face, like so cover over my moles, cover over, you know, basically even out my skin tone, because I do have two tones on my face. And if I just want everything to just not show, I'll use a full coverage. If I'm okay with showing my moles and different things like that, I'll just use like a tinted moisturizer or a BB cream, because I like to keep my face very light, and especially when it starts to get hot. Like, I don't want to be like, you know, like patting my face with my fingers or tissue, whatever, and I'm just, this foundation all over my fingers, or this foundation all over the cloth or something I'm using to wipe my face, because when it gets hot, you sweat, and most likely you will sweat off the foundation you have on. So that's why I keep very light with my facial products. And yeah, so I have that on, and I just clean my face, moisturize before I put that on. No facial primer is underneath the moisturizer. So let's get back into talking about Tarte. So Tarte has the Tarteist Pro Remix. So it's going to be on Macys 10 Days of Glam for $24.50. And it will be available tomorrow. So I will try to get this video up today. So it is a 20 shades eyeshadow palette. And this palette was inspired for them to, basically it's a palette for like people who are into art and people who are into more self-expression. So, you know, like the artists, you know, all the different like graffiti artists, all the different types of art that's out there. People just to be artistic. You can read further on their website about the inspiration to why they created this palette. But it has 6 finishes. So before I talk about those finishes, so this is what the box looks like in the packaging. So it's a unicarton. It has the traditional Tarte kind of like shades in the name of the palette along the top portion of the palette, so you can see what the colors look like. I personally like that they do that. That it kind of gives you an idea what the shades will look like in this palette. And on the back you have lists of information about their ingredients, and it's cruelty-free. And this palette is good for 12 months. The net weight per product is 1 gram in each shadows. And it is the Amazonian clay palette, since, you know, Tarte does make a lot of Amazonian clay palettes. So that's what that looks like. And the palette itself is pretty hefty. It's a pretty hefty, it's heavy. It has weight to it. This is not some like very lightweight palette. It has some weight to it. So this is what it looks like. And if you move it, it kind of have that, like, I don't know, I guess I would say like holographic to it. You can see like it moves around. You know, like when we were kids, and we still see that today. But definitely when I was growing up as kids, you could buy like notebooks and things that would just move around and change shapes and colors and stuff. So that's the cover of it. Then on the back, it's kind of mirrored. It's basically mirrored. So if you have, your fingerprints will get on the back of it, but that's okay. So most people won't look at the bottom of it. And then you get this big mirror with this. It has a protective sheet, and it has a good size mirror. So this is what the mirror looks like. It's pretty big, and it doesn't lay flat, so it sits up. So if you're sitting at your vanity or your computer, wherever you put your makeup on, or you're just chilling on the subway and you know you're putting on your makeup, it sits up for you. And these are the 20 shades, so I can show those to you. That's what it looks like. And I have always been a fan of Tarte. I have some OG palettes. I don't have all of their OG palettes, but you know the OG palettes, there were clutches. I have at least 2 of those. That's how far back I go with Tarte. So I am a fan of Tarte. I always keep an eye on Tarte. I know a lot of people have mixed, opinions about Tarte, but personally, I'm loyal to the brand that I know. When I first started out wearing makeup and discovering makeup, there are brands that I will still keep my eye on. I'm going to continue to support them and be loyal. And it's because I believe in them. Because when I was drawn to it then, I know they have to be the same today. And I know brands change and reformulate and do all these different things to kind of keep up with the modern days, the modern era. And so that's okay. But I kind of miss the OG of Tarte. But I just say that. But I like what they do with their palettes. They're very consistent. I know everyone wants to see like different things from Tarte. But I personally gravitated to this palette. And I said, look, I'm going to buy it. I swatched the colors in Sephora. I loved it. I love the shimmers. There you have a variety of different pops of colors. You have your cool tones, and you have some like bronze type colors. You have some teals, some dark gray, some duochromes. So you have a mixture. There's a mixture in this palette. There is a mixture. And Tarte has 6 finishes, so they come in matte, luster, metallic, duochrome, shimmer, and glitter. They call it floating glitter on their website. And this palette is rated 5 stars on their website. They're rated 4.8 stars on Sephora. So it's a very highly rated palette. It's contains Amazonian clay, which is like a natural ingredient, mineral pigments to help soothe and soften the skin, and it also has a vanilla extract, natural fragrance, antioxidant, anti-aging properties. It smells really good. That's one thing that attracted me to the palette, is that it has a very sweet odor, but it's not overpowering. But in this palette, you have at least 3 mattes. You get a regular, I would say like a kind of like a cool tone transitional brown shade here. You have a nice creamy, I ivory shade here for your brow bone or to set your eyelids. It's like a bone color. It's not completely bone, so it's not white, so it's more like a soft light brown ivory shade, just a little, I don't know, maybe like 2 shades, you know what, maybe like 2 or 3 shades lighter from here to here. And then you have your matte black, and I always like matte blacks in palettes. Again, it helps to deepen the colors that you want to have deepen, and it's good to have a brow bone shade or a set and eyelid shade to just give like a base for your shadows, or to soften up some of the deeper colors in the palette. And it's good to have just a neutral brown tone shade. And the rest of these shades are either they're shimmers, they're metallics, or they're lusters or duochromes. These 4 shades here are they're very pretty. These 4 on along the side here. I'm trying to keep it so you don't get, let me lift up some. So the 4 shades along my left would be your right probably, are so pretty, the circle shades. So I'm going to create a look today, and we're going to see how it goes. I've created a look maybe a month or 2 ago. This palette is fairly new to me. I have not had this palette very long at all, but I did create a look when I went out to dinner, basically for a dinner occasion. So I forgot to take pictures that day of that look. So I'm looking at this palette and I'm thinking about where I want to go with it. And I love my smoky looks, but let's just play and we'll just see what it becomes. So I'm going to be using a lot of my e.l.f. brushes today. My e.l.f. brushes and some of my ABH Cosmetics. It's just going to be mostly e.l.f., Japanese, or Morphe, or, yeah, those are pretty much the brushes I have in front of me. The brushes I had, a Rose Gold collection, which is my Merit brushes. They're on the sink drying in the bathroom, so I just want to let them continue to dry and do their thing. So let me go ahead and start this tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead with the color Wall Art. It is that transition brown color that I was talking about. I'm going to go in my, you know what, before I do that, I have got to prime my eyelids. I cannot forget not to do that. So let me prime my eyelids. And let's just go in with my CoverGirl Lid Lock Up primer. Now this primer is a primer that's, yeah, when it locks, it locks. So I'm going to use that because I've been using it to kind of test out some other palettes that I have. So I'm just going to put this on. I always forget to prime my eyelids. I get so excited to be filming something, and then I just completely, like, when I get to my eyes, I just forget. I'm going to prime my eyelids. Prime. And then I'm going to go and take it down here. Because I always put some down here because I will be working with color in my lower lash line. So I want to take some color and put it there. I'm not going to do a wing. I'm not going to do really a wing look. I'll try to keep it. It's going to be, I feel, a nice look. I love my wings. I like when I have dramatic wing looks on my eyes, but we will see. I don't have any pre-planned look for this palette, because that sultry one, I planned that one out. I did do that look for it in particular. And yes, I am digging in my eyes because I felt something there. So I'm digging it, want to remove it. still hanging out, then it's just gonna hang out. And so I definitely say don't sleep on Tarte. Be willing. I just feel like when it comes to makeup, we just have to be more open. We have to be more open, and it's not just for us as consumers. Also, for brands, have to be more open to us as consumers. Just need to be overall openness and transparency. Don't hide things. Just be completely open. So I'm gonna go in again with wall art, and I'm just gonna go in. It may not. Well, we'll hope that it shows in my transitional crease. I'm gonna use this big mirror so I can see up close. Cause I'm looking at the mirror in front of me, then I want to look up at myself as well. It's very cool tone. I don't know how much it'll show, but it's definitely a cool tone shade. And I might blend in something else in the crease. But yeah, I have been well, I don't have all the palettes that Tarte has released. I don't have all of them. I started with them with the clutch style palettes, and that is their OG palettes. And they were very mineral based then. You all who still have those clutch palettes, you know what I'm talking about. And I love it because it was very classy makeup, and it was your everyday type of shades, so like your neutrals, your taupes, just very like day and night, sophisticated makeup. Like, I felt at the time Tarte was doing makeup more for, I would say, for women, like the modern women, the working women, the women on the go, just very, very sophisticated, kind of like a high class type of look with their palettes. Now I think they have moved into another age demographic to basically target. You know, they have changed their the demographics a bit from when they first started. And it's not a bad thing. You know, brands change, their focus change. But I always like brands who stay true to their mission. They stay true to who they are. They're not going to keep, they're going to keep up with whatever the trends are, because that's just how fashion is. Beauty is a sense of fashion. So they're going to keep up with the trend, but they're not going to so much change who they are. So their statement. So every time you see their palettes, every time you see their formulas, their colors that they put out, it is a statement to who they are as a brand. You just know, like, you see an eye color, oh, that's Tarte, or oh, that's Bobbi Brown, oh, that's Yves Saint Laurent. You just know when you see something, it's theirs. And I personally really like that, because I know who I'm working with. So let me go in and kind of blend, because there's not a lot of transition colors that blends. There's no other matte you can go in and blend with this. So if you blend anything else with it, it's going to be a shimmer or a luster of some sort. So I'm just going to take that up. And it's very cool tone. If this is like on trend, I feel like right now we're in the midst of different trends all together. We got the cool tones, that's now kind of mixed with the warm tones. Like you see these palettes where they have warm tones, have cool tones. We have the warm tones resurfacing. I don't think it ever really left, but there's more emphasis on the cool tones now. And I love a good cool tone palette. Cool tones to me are the ultimate smoky eyeshadow. They're there to smoke out your look. And we have the color trends. We have the blues, the greens. Now we have the neons. We have these yellows that's gonna come up on the scene. I totally see Colourpop releasing a yellow shadow, monochromatic shadow palette in the future. So we have all these trends. So I'm just gonna keep it very cool. It's very smoky. And I'm tempted to do a silver eye look, but I'm not sure because I want you all to see some color play here. But the trend just really, really picks up. And you see emergence of different trends. And them trends will linger for like the whole year into the early part of next year. And then you'll have some of the brands who are playing catch up, and they'll release their palettes. And then you have some brands who may be ahead of the trend that'll just come out and just always just a step ahead of other brands. But it's just very interesting to see how all the different. Now I'm about to go in with I think I'm going to do a shimmer. I'm going to do my eyelid shade, but I'm tempted to do 2 shades on my eyelid. I don't know. We'll just see because I'm just playing right now. So, like I said, I don't have anything heavily intended in terms of a look. So, this is considered a freestyle. See, already my eyes, they're doing it, but I'm not going to go as heavy as I was on my other looks. So I'm going to go in with the color Create, which is this duochrome shade here on my eyelid. We'll see. I might just, I don't know. But anyhow, where was I? I don't know, I forgot what I was talking. And I'm using a e.l.f. C brush, which is really good for packing on shimmers. But yeah, the trend that most, and this palette says to use your fingers to create your looks. I'm using a brush unless I have to use my fingers. The trends shift. And I think brands who are very competitive are the ones that you see do the trends the most, because they know whenever that trend is out, they got to get on it real quick because they want to be able to, you know, sell to their demographic. They want to be able to, you know, get in on the cash. And so I think this duochrome color is really pretty. But I'm going to use my finger, kind of go in a little bit. Kind of intense it. I think I'm going to do like a 2-tone eye look on my lids. Yeah, the brands that want to keep up, they're gonna like be on the trend real quick. Soon as there's a trend drop, boom, they're with it. And I think the brands that are kind of like, okay, I know it's a trend, but you know, I'm just gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna take my time and perfect the product that I want to release. Are gonna be, they may not be right there on the trend, but when it comes out, because they took so much time to prepare it, hopefully it'll be a knockout kind of, you know, product that people have been sitting and waiting for. Because I think it's all about quality. You could push out a lot of product. My camera stopped. But as I was saying, you know, the people are the trendsetters. These people who are normally rocking their own fashion, like street fashion. I would even say the luxury fashion designers out here, they have their own vision. It's art. So there are people who are setting the trends already. If you believe in street fashion, like a makeup brand that can really connect with like street fashion, then you know that is gonna be a brand that'll be above its time. Cause right now, the palettes I feel like there's some brands that are very editorial. There are brands that are kind of in the mid level. You got your luxury, your editorial, your mid level, and then you have your kind of lower end palettes, but they still good quality. But a lot of them there are a few of them that are for like high fashion. Then you got the ones that are just for like everyday, you know, regular average consumer like myself type palettes. But I like inspirational palettes. I like to see more inspiration palettes that come out in the future. Like different elements of nature, the ocean, you know, because I know Lil Rock came out with those different types of palettes a couple years ago with the mountains and the desert and like an ocean. They had those kind of things for their themes of their palettes. But I like things that are inspirational. If you're a brand that really likes fashion, pull like shadows or package layout that represents fashion or high fashion, street fashion, those types of things. So that's the first part of my eyes. I put that Duochrome shade, and now the next shade I'm gonna go in another. It's gonna be another shade to go on the top of my eye. I am going to pack on, would be a nice shade to go with it. I'm attracted to graffiti, and I'm also attracted to artists. Let's go in. I'm also attracted to color Aspiration, but then I also like the color Beat Drop. Let me kind of swatch them on my hand a little bit and kind of get an idea. Graffiti, artist. Graffiti is like this copper, almost like a copper with some, almost like pink in it. It's really pretty, and I am gravitated to it. Then I have artist, then I have color Explosion, which is a green, and then I have Beat Drop, which is a smoky gray color. And I think this one has like glitter, kind of like some glitter particles. It's very smoky. So let me show you, because this is graffiti. This is graffiti. This blue shade here is artist. This green shade is color Explosion. And then you have Beat Drop that's right underneath that. And I'm trying to decide which one I want to go as a second eyelid shade. Because I already got that Duochrome going. So I may want to stay with a solid color. So I'm going to go in with Graffiti. It was one of the first colors that I really gravitated to. You can see on my fingers, I was sitting here swatching. I'm just going to go in with Graffiti. And it's very soft. And I'm just going to kind of put that here. And kind of like merge it in. And I like doing like two-tone lids on my eyes because I just think it's fun. I just think it's really fun to merge colors together. I'm going to do a crease, so that's why I'm not going all the way over. So that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to take this color, I'll go over here. And I'm going to blend those colors in. So it's kind of like a little ombre on the eyes. Or you could say like a color block. But that color is it's very pretty. Now I'm going to take a blending brush. Probably the same blending brush I had for doing my crease. And I'm just going to blend those in. So there's no rough edges. And kind of help merge these colors in. Now I'm going to go in with the crease shade. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. Angle Contour Brush. So let me show you what the brushes I've been using so far. So this is the e.l.f. Eyeshadow C brush. I used that for the shade Graffiti just now. And then I got another one that I use for Create, which is that Duochrome shade. These are so good for packing on shimmers and metallic, those type of finishes. And then I've been using the BH Cosmetics like a blending brush for my crease. So now I'm going in with the Angle Contour brush, and I'm going to go in. I could put another shimmer, but I think I'm just going to, I don't know why I'm so attracted to putting that black on my outer crease. But I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to use Artist. I'm going to go in with Artist. It's a blue shade that I was showing. And I'm just going to go in with this shade. And just kind of give that pop of like color on the outer V. Kind of go up. And just kind of dust that out. And that's one thing that is Tarte's strength, is that they are really good with, I think they're good with the mattes and shimmers, but definitely with their shimmers, that is a high strength. That is a very high strength for them. And it's a little bit tricky to use this brush on your corner because it packs a lot of color in that outer corner. So now we're just going to blend. And I might take Artist and move it down to my lower lash line, because I always want my colors, especially my outer crease, to always be equal in its pigmentation, because that is your statement area. Your crease speaks for itself. So you have to make sure the pigmentation is really equal, because that's where, I don't know about you, but sometimes that's where my eyes go. People, like when they have their crease shave, my eyes go there. I'm going to diffuse that out just a little bit. Not over my brow bone, but just out just a little bit at that corner. Cause it's almost like a little peacock blue color. It's really pretty. It will kind of, you know, pick up and really merge in with wall art, which is in my crease. It really kind of merges in really well with that color. So let me go in now and work on moving that color down to my lower lash line. I'm just going to pick up this concealer brush. I always do multi-purpose things with my brushes. I don't always, it says it's for concealer, but I don't care. I always use it. I use it for whatever purpose I want to use it for. So I'm going to take this artist color and I'm going to move it down and smudge it. And try to stay away from that tear duct. So I'm just going to smudge it in and line my lower lash line with it. Kind of give that continuation. But that's just partially because I'm going in with another color. To line my eyes. I feel like I can't completely connect to that part. I'll try. But I always worry about if my eye waters. Will it create that problem? And I'm going to go over with this eye. This is a tricky little eye over here. That tear duct does whatever it wants. I'll try it. Because when I'm lining my lower lash line, I want something with a flat, sharp edge to kind of help smudge. So I do that on purpose, using these different brushes that's not created for that, but I don't care. So I'm gonna go now with, I want to play with Beat Drop. I think I'm gonna line my eyes with Beat Drop, or should I do Graphic? Maybe I'll do Graphic and then I'll go over with Beat Drop. Beat Drop is very smoky. You know what, I'm gonna do Beat Drop because I like that smoky gray color to it. So I'm going to line my eyes with Beat Drop, kind of smudge it in. It's not going to be an inner corner, so I'm just kind of taking it to connect the rest of my eyes. Just to give a little bit of a glitter, a little bit of shimmer. But I'm going back over with Graphic. I'm just playing with all these different shades. Just kind of give you an idea how this palette is. So that's how it looks so far. I just love playing with different colors on my eyes. Sometimes if I want to be monochromatic, I will. But a lot of times I'll throw all kinds of shades on my eyes. When I'm really like playing in makeup, I'll just go and put everything on it. So the next shade I'm going to go in, still working on the lower lash line. I'm tempted to put Mic Drop on it, which is a nice bronze, I think, but I'll use that as probably an inner corner. We'll see. I'm going to go in with Grafitti. So Grafitti is this color here. It's so hard to show you all because this palette is heavy. It is a heavy palette. So Grafitti is like a purple glitter that has like a black base to it. So I'm just gonna kind of put that on top because it's glitter. And really mix it in with Artist. Kind of give that purple view. And Grafitti is so pretty. It will look so beautiful on its own, especially on the eyelid as that staple color. Yeah, I have stuff. That's that, and then I'm going to go in with my inner corner highlight. I'm going to use the Morphe. This brush is called the M160-1/8 angle pencil. I don't know if they still make this brush or not. I call it a pencil. If they still make this angle brush or not, because I got it off Hot Look, so I don't know if they still make it. But I'm gonna go now with my inner corner. And should I go in with Outside the Lines, Inspiration, or Mic Drop? Or Color Explosion? Or Mashup? Let me go in. And I'm just gonna do, I think I wanna do, I could do Art Deco too. Let's go in. Art Deco looks like a duochrome, so I'm gonna choose that. Let me see. Let me swatch this on my hand before I go in with that color. It looks like it might be a luster. Let me see. Mic Drop. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with Mic Drop. Mic Drop is like this copper shade. I think it will look nice at the inner corner. These shadows lay very well. They nice and smooth. And this one's a little bit, there's fallout. I'm gonna have to clean that out because there was like a chunk that I picked up. So just kind of be prepared. Some of them just do your makeup, do your foundation after. But there's not much fallout from the rest of the shadows. Just when I picked up, might drop on this brush a little bit of it kind of drop and kind of smeared right in there. So I have to clean that up. But that is a pretty copper shade. It really opens up that eye in that area. So yeah. So that's pretty much my look. And let me clean off a little bit of the area around here. Let me just blend a little bit while you're looking at me. Make sure everything is seamless and everything is blended well. So that is my look. And I'm going to clean this part off and then I will come back. So I am back. So I cleaned up the area around my eyes and yeah, so I feel like I was on a roll with what I was talking about. I just kind of feel like I just think with Tarte is someone that I just think it's a brand that everybody should just continue to watch. I think they listen to what the demands are. And I personally, I watch their palette. I think they're really good quality. And I just really think, especially this palette is something worth having. You have a lot of different accent shades. And even though it just has like 3 mattes, and you probably have to be working with 1 matte for most of your looks, you can also use this main palette, which is an accent palette, to really accentuate other matte shades that you may have in your collection. I really like how they have a lot of different duochromes, and they have that blue and green, and these purple glitters, and these duochromes, and these steel gray with like silver reflex, and these antique gold and silvers, and it's just a lot of different pops of color that you have here. And I think it will go really well in your collection for a lot of different eye looks. You can always dress it up or you could dress it down. You know, you could go for a very monochromatic look. I love monochromatic looks. They look really classy, but you have a different dimension of those same color but different finishes to really build up and pull out your look. I do think monochromatic palettes are going to be like a very on trend type of palette. Just like Colourpop is already creating a lot of monochromatic palettes, I see those in the future with other brands. These monochromatic looks are going to really come. And people are going to be like how they used to be, where they just put on one single eyelid color, and they're going to accentuate that eyelid color, or they're going to pull in a supporting color, like it could be your maybe deeper color from that same color family. I just see those duotones looks coming. I see the monochromatics. I see those very simple but still very elegant and staple eye looks coming in the future. And people are already doing it. I look on the some of the makeup in like InStyle magazine, Allure.com, Marie Claire, W. When I look at those different brands, Glamour, you see those kind of like the monochromatic looks. You're starting to see just a single color on the eyelid look. Those trends are starting to come. You see these pops of colors with these soft like pastel colors around it, kind of like supporting the bold statement on the eye. So I really see, that's why I like looking in magazines. I love looking at the fashion, what the makeup artists are using, because they are they're visionaries, they are artists. So they're pulling, you know, their vision out there into the world. And, you know, if you're in the fashion, you're into the beauty, you see these trends coming. These visionaries are putting out different things for their art, their eye art. So I pretty much completed my look. So now I'm just going to go in with a mascara. And I'm just trying to use the mascaras that I have here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in and use my Wonder Beauty Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara. This is what the packaging looks like. And I want to make sure I be using my mascaras because I don't want them to just be new to us. I would say no, but it is Tarte's formula that is the standout aspect to this palette. It is, if you love the Tarte formula, you're going to love the formula in the Pro. So this is just my thoughts on the palette. I particularly love it. And you can make all kinds of looks with it. Now I think the Pro Remix palette, you may be able to wear some of those colors for everyday looks, but I think they're more of, you know, when you want to be artistic, like they said, when you want to have, like you're going out to some event or you're going to, I don't know, out on the town type palette. It is not like your Tarte has a lot of neutral, you know, neutral everyday palettes. But this one is one that you're going to play up. It's just for expressing yourself, being able to, you know, create your own visions all of your looks. That's that palette. And if you're someone who don't mind playing in different colors, because this palette is colorful, but it also has those, you know, those kind of neutral shades in there also. But it's more, you know, to be imaginative, imagination, you know, let your imagination go wild. I'm trying to think of another word with imaginative. Maybe that's the word. There are, you know, when we create looks, we create it from our own eyes. Like I say, makeup has no limits. It has no boundaries. Our visions are from our eyes. That's how we see things. And that's why I say, when people are making looks, you know, that's their look. There's no right or wrong. You know, there are rules of makeup, but I feel like, you know, makeup is art. It's supposed to be expressed. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be where we let loose and just, you know, be ourselves types of thing. And we just formulate our own look on the palette is what I'm saying. Like, whatever art you do is you're your own canvas. So you're your own unique self. No one can really tell you how to prepare your canvas. If your idea is like your project in school, and you can't go and say, oh, can I get such and such help me with the project? Yes, you could get help, but your idea is still yours. And that's what I'm saying. So let me go ahead and move down to my lips. So hopefully you all like this. If you have the Tarte Pro if you have the Tarte Pro Remix, what is your thought about it? Do you like it? What are your favorite colors from the palette? How do you wear the colors from the palette? So now I'm going to go in with a lip color, and I love Colourpop Lippie Stix. I'm going in with the color Bootie. It is a Matte X formula. This is a color, and it's like a really bright orange, almost like a red orange, depending on your skin tone. But it's a really nice orange tone. Lippie, I don't know if they still make Bootie. But Bootie is really pretty. Bootie is one of those colors that catch eyes. It really does catch eyes. It's like a bright, like neon orange. It's kind of red orange, and it depends on your skin tone. It may look a little bit deeper. And definitely put on lip balm or something. Or make sure your lips are exfoliated before you put this on with this. You know, put it on your lips, because I didn't do that. But I feel like the matte apps are like really comfortable. They're not drying. They're like cream, almost like a cream base, but they feel comfortable. They're mattes, but they're like comfortable mattes. They're not like drying. So yeah, this color is like, it's definitely one of those colors that when it gets in your face, it gets in your face. And I love wearing it. It looks really beautiful on its own. You just want to go and leave the house with a nice, soft, like neutral eye, or like a soft, smoky eye, and you just pop this color on. Because it's one of those colors, it draws attention, and I have worn it out on a number of occasions, and each time I catch eyes, or I have people say, "Oh, that's such a pretty color," and you know, and it draws attention. That's what it's meant to be. In the spirit of the neon summers, you know, I'm bringing this bright orange lip to you, and that's my lip. So let me go in with a little bit of cheek product. And I think I want to play with, did I put out, I don't know if I put out a highlighter. I think I need to pull out a highlighter. I'm just going to go in with Tarte, this little baby mini. I got this from during a birthday month. It might have been last year. Might have been last year or the year before. This little baby Tarte Sephora kit, and it has the blush called Party in it. Party is how they put it, and it's like a nice little, I would say like a light peachy color. It probably look like a blush pink on me, but sometimes my skin tone sometimes these kind of colors will show up on my skin tone, then sometimes they may not show up. But I'm just gonna dust some on, because I love a little baby pink, a nice little baby pink cheek. It may show and it may not, but I like Tarte blushes. They are really good at formulating their blushes. And there was one year they released a blush like kit, because when they come out in this holidays, they always have like their bundled blushes together. And it was one year, I want to think maybe 2 years ago or so, I really wanted it and I didn't end up picking it up. But it's so pretty. I love them when they lay out all their blushes together like that. So for us on the go or us traveling, we could just have all our Tarte blushes in one place. And I think it might have been the circular shape one. I think they had a circular shape one that year, and also more of a square or more rectangle style. And I wish I had picked it up, but it disappeared. And that's one thing, when things are holidays and they're limited edition, I always wish that they would keep certain things around. Like I wish they wasn't limited edition, because especially like holidays, because some of their stuff is so good. And just like how the, let's say, Too Faced came out with the gingerbread palette that people was going crazy over, and their liquid lipstick set. When it disappears and it's gone, people can't get it, you know, unless they re-release it that following year or something. But, you know, it don't leave you time to really, like, get those things and have it, you know. If you're working on a budget, you know, working from a budget, whatever, it doesn't leave you much time to get those things. So that's kind of the downside of, you know, holiday releases, limited edition, that kind of stuff. So that's the blush. I don't know if you can tell that it's on my face. You know, it looks really, and I think this color is probably more, it will look more suitable probably for more fair skinned people. But I still put it on anyway because I like soft pink blushes. I like those soft pinks. And now I need a highlighter. So let me come back and find a highlighter, and I'll show you I'm putting that on. So I once again am back. So I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Sun-Dip. I want to use this because I want to be putting in some good use with this glow kit. I do have other highlighters, but I kind of want to keep it within the brand, not within the brand. I don't know if I own any Tarte highlighters. I don't think I have any. Not that I could think of off the top of my head. I may, because sometimes I buy makeup and I forget that I even have it until I'm like cleaning out my collection. Then I discover that I have it. But I don't think I own any highlights. So I'm just going to use my ABH Glow Kit, and I'm going to use one of the highlighters from here. And I think I'm going to go in with, let me see, do I want to do Moonstone? Or do I want to do Tourmaline? I think I kind of want to do Tourmaline. So I'm going to go in with Tourmaline. And I just want to make use of my blushes. I feel like I'm going to have this blush kit for some time to come. And amen to that, because I'm not ready to ever be done with this palette. I hope this is one of the Sun-Dipped palette will always be around here. I'm just going to use my e.l.f., I don't know, like a taper blending type brush, and I'm just going to tap that color in and blend. There's just some things that brands make. Ooh, that's pretty. There's just certain things that brands make that they should not discontinue. I can understand if you want to change your packaging, but don't change the name. Don't change the formula. Let us know that it's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. Because I feel like brands have some knockout products that they let go of too quickly. And I think sometimes when the competition is on and you really want to be in the spotlight, you get rid of something that is very like statement piece to your line. And you know, I don't know, I think I just feel bad when something like that happens. And I know brands have their own reasons for discontinuing something, but sometimes if I think it's good and I think that it should be staying as part of their line, I don't know what their reasons for discontinuing things. Maybe it's not selling as much as they would want it to. But that's why I always say that whatever brands release, you gotta make sure that everybody knows it exists. Like if you just drop something on your site and it's new and people don't know that it exists, or they don't know there's additional shades for that product, then it's gonna look like people aren't buying it because they don't know it exists. And really focus on the shade ranges and having models represent those shade colors for that product. Really market all skin tones, not just fair or medium and then tan. Go dark, go deeper than dark, go very ebony. Like really take it there, because you don't know how well your products are unless they're all tested on all skin tones. And if you're one of those brands that just only want to have a certain demographic, then I understand that. But in this day and age, everything needs to be exclusive. I mean, not exclusive, but inclusive. Everybody should be included. And I just feel like there's too many of us on this planet who love makeup to not be represented. Like, we need to be all represented. Our skin tones, everything needs to be represented. And like, for example, if ABH ever get rid of this glow kit, then I would think it may be tough for us more like medium to more deeper skin tones to be able to find something in ABH range. I like, they have other highlights that will probably suit us, but this Sun-Dipped Glow Kit is what is really for like my skin tone and deeper. It may also suit fair skin as well, but definitely for us medium to very deep skin tones. This is this palette, and I don't know, I just personally think that brands need to maybe not be in a hurry to release so much at once, but take their time to formulate a really good formula. Have a product that has enough shades for everybody, every undertone, every skin tone, and also concentrate on the price range, make it suitable where everybody can afford it. And also, because that's how it was back in the day, like when these I'll say high-end palettes would come out, they were more in the 30 to 40, 50 was the highest. But now you have brands who have them up in the 50s, the 60s, 80s sometimes, and they could be a little bit too much for the average consumer to pay. So that's why I think it needs to be reasonably done, so everyone can afford to have a piece of the makeup pie. You know, we could all be able to fit in somewhere in that brand, you know. And I just feel like, again, you know, we're just living in the times. The times are changing. The times are requiring more people to be more accepted, recognized, acknowledged, and especially in the cosmetic industry. Like, there's so many different skin tones that's out there. You can't not put out a specific skin tone or undertone just because you believe it won't sell or most people don't. So yeah, so as I was saying, that we really need to just be very inclusive and just be more thoughtful and understanding to everyone in this community, everyone who wants to be able to find products that would fit them so they can look flawless. Like, we want to be able to look flawless, and we want to have the right skin ranges of products to help us support our flawless selves. You know, so we can look flossy. We all want to be flossy. So this pretty much concludes my Tarte Pro Remix look. Hopefully you all like it. Again, this palette is $24.50 for Macys 10 Days of Glam. Again, I am wearing the color Wall Art that is in my transition. I am wearing Create, which is on my eyelid here. Then I also have Grafitti in the middle. Then I have Artist on the outer V, smudged down to my lower lash line partially. And then I have Beat Drop on my lower lash line. And then I also have Graphic on top of the lower lash line. And in my inner corner highlight, I have Mic Drop. So those are the shades that I am wearing. And I really like this palette. I really like it. And I hope that Tarte keeps this palette around for some time. You know, don't get rid of it, because these are, I think, really good pops of colors for, you know, to accent the eyes. And when I'm looking at it though, when you look at the cover, because it gives that, like, you see these pops of like light mint green, dark, kind of like cobalt blues and stuff. That would have been nice also as additional colors from the packaging to also have been represented in the palette. I wish they do, but I don't really see like the mint green color that's in here. And then a couple more little mattes would have made that really nice, just to have a little, you know, a little mixture or something. But I think it's really good, and it's a great price point. And if you pick this up on sale, you know, this would be really good. So that's my thoughts. So hopefully you liked this tutorial. Hopefully you found my conversation with you all informative. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much always for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Bye.